first practice session of the bye week, which, as I've said, is a very important week for us that we continue to make progress. This is not a lot different to me in my mind than some of the things I've talked about through the stages of this season, whether it was the off season and making progress, then having a little time off before we came back into the preseason. This is an area to me that we've made progress through the first 3 weeks of the season, taking result out of it, and we've made progress. We've made strides to continue to try to become a better team, and now this bye week is another important stage for this team. I don't think it would matter when it was coming. This would be of equal importance to me that we've got to continue to make progress in the vein of outside the box thinking. Some time ago, this thought came into my head about the best way to utilize this week for all people involved. And it actually was sitting on the bus riding to that movie this summer in training camp that in a lot of different discussions with veteran players through the last year and asking about, you know, what parts of bye week they like, what they don't, blah, blah, blah. I came to a conclusion that veterans didn't like bye week, period. Okay, so in that time of thought, I came up with this thought of getting some of our developing our leaders and veterans, different reasons for different guys, a little more involved in the communication process with the other players, and through one day, I'm happy with how things went. I thought it was a real productive day for us. We definitely got a little bit better today, so now it's important we continue that movement tomorrow.
So the same guys will be in the same roles, I guess, the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been designated by me, and they have a little different set of encyclopedias this week.
How much actual coaching are you having them do? Or are they just kind of, is this just a way to keep them engaged, or are they actually trying to do some instruction?
Oh no, I'm using them to their fullest. You know, they had their own little run and lift this morning. They had some meeting time, and no, we're using our resources. This is no different than using all 45 on game day in my mind.
Are they involved in coaches' meetings and stuff like that away from actual practice?
Yeah, they are. They're following a different set of a different path this week, I think, is the way I'll leave it, and it appears to me they're you know, again, this is an idea just to try to benefit the team as best I saw it fit.
The recent stuff with Sean Smith, do you worry that officials are going to start looking closer and maybe judging you guys more I guess, tougher than normal because of the accusations the last couple of weeks?
Again, I know nothing about the accusations. I know the question yesterday was asked, something, you know, that I kind of get the gist of, but again, I think these officials are the best there are. They're really good at really good at a very difficult job, and again, when I go by what they tell me, and I think that's a good practice and something that I've learned along the way.
The fact that everybody's talking about it now, it's on every website, the videos out there, do you think that's going to raise the attention, maybe people in the officials?
I'm unaware of the talk about it. I really am, other than the question yesterday. So I can't answer that question. You know, we can just, like I said, that's all I got on it. I'm going by officials, what they tell me.
How much of that stuff takes place in a game in the bottom of the pile? The different grabbing, hitting stuff. Does that stuff take place in the pile a lot?
Again, those aren't questions that I'm in any position to answer right now, because I'm kind of unaware of other than the fact that, like I said, there was an accusation, it appears to me, of some sort. But you know, I'm worrying about this bye week for the Kansas City Chiefs and our players and coaches that we are doing all that we can to continue to make a little progress, because we are in a process here that it's important that we don't have any backtrack or at all, really.
So how do you think the rookie class this year, his performance, and guys obviously like Moyaki, McCluster, and Arenas that seems to have really kind of caught on very quickly, and you've said before that these guys are developing and all that, but you also I think you want these guys to develop as quickly as possible. You said that it's a help you now situation, so how do you think this class is doing that?
Well, I think this entire rookie class, everybody that made this team, drafted and undrafted, and there's a bunch of them have come in with a certain attitude, that has been evident from day one with a bunch of the guys, and it's developed with some of the others. Maybe some of the others that I wasn't maybe thinking a whole bunch of early on that made us very aware of that they were intent on finding a way into this mix. So you're exactly right. I think that, when you have a team that hadn't been a very good team that's trying to make progress and in this foundation process that we're in, it's very important that we get as many guys on in contributing sooner rather than later, because you don't have time to wait on anybody, and that's the message that I've continued to let our players, or make sure our players were clear on. We've had a bunch of guys, like I said, drafted, undrafted, free agents in the acquisitions, which really are all rookies to this team this year, and that's no matter what their age, where they came from, how they got here, that are pushing themselves into the mix and making themselves a part of this process, and really becoming part of this team, which we're in the middle of trying to build. So I would say that 3 games into the first quarter of the season, with one game left to go in the first quarter, but more importantly a bye week for us to get some real work done on our team and not worry about a lot else, that I would say through this period of time, I'm excited about the entire rookie group, and that's, again, free agents, rookies, anybody that's found their way onto this or forced their way onto this team.
Who was pleasantly surprised you, whether that's in work ethic or mentally or performance? Who's kind of caught your eye through these 3 games?
All of them. You talking about rookies, first-year guys? Mm-hmm. All of them, and I think that's why I've been encouraged, and this goes back to the off season. I've been encouraged with all of them from day one. Again, and that's first-year guys on this team. However they got here, wherever they came from, I've been encouraged, and they've all caught my eye, and that's the truth. I mean, everybody is contributing, everybody, and that's the way it has to be.
These rookies are getting opportunities. Last year, most of your rookies really didn't get an opportunity to play. They had to play here and there. McGee, Washington, Williams was practice squad, Lawrence. Is that a change of philosophy on your part, or does it have to do with the players who came in?
No, not a change. I don't think my philosophy will ever change. Will not change, at least in the foreseeable future, Bob. I think, again, you're gonna as a coach, you respond to each set of variables or situation that you're given, and how you respond will play a big part in your total, your overall success, I think, as a team and as an organization.
You pleased with how Barry's done so far? He doesn't have an interception yet. A lot of folks, I guess, looked at that as a kind of a barometer for a safety, but he's played the run real well and all that, so you're pleased with kind of how he's coming along?
I will say again about all those guys that this is just a microcosm of what's a marathon season for these young guys that haven't been a part of the NFL until this year. This is there's a small test, example or information to go off of, and to this point, I'm really excited about them all. Eric being one of them. I mean, these guys, we've got a bunch of young guys contributing in a lot of different ways. throughout on this team, and I think that's a real good thing, you know, for us, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Todd, do you think the front seven is playing better than you thought it would be playing at this time? Because that was one of the biggest questions fans had going. It was, how is this front seven going to get better? And clearly it's playing out of its mind almost. What are your thoughts on where they are?
Those are your words, out of its mind, not mine. I would not utter those words. I think this defense as a whole, going through the process and the foundation of last year, as I've said, last year will be an important part of this, any success that we have as we go forward. And that's what's important to me about last year. This offseason, again, kind of the same thing. It'd be an important part of any success we're able to have as we go forward. Which again, we had a lot of guys. Everybody that you see out there has been in, working, on board, wanting to be part of our transition into a good team. And I think that through 3 games, the front 7, if that's what we're talking about, but I'd prefer to talk about that whole all 11, because if we don't have all 11 on defense, you know, our defense isn't going to be very good. It's just the way that it is, and that's very critical to our success. And I think the entire group of 11, and again, there's moving pieces in there, you know, as we change personnel groups, but there's a one thing constant. There's always 11 out there, and they are working the technique and trying to get better at that every day, and understanding what their particular role in the defense is on each and every play versus each and every formation. And that's what they're all 11, whoever they are at each time, are trying to get done.
That front 7 had a lot of those ascending players you kept talking about, guys taking it to the next level with the high draft picks and whatnot, with Derek and Tyson and Glenn and guys of that nature, even Tamba to an extent. So you've got to be pleased with the way the front 7 is going after.
I would think, talking about, I would have to be pleased with our 11 who have contributed on defense, because we've had success as a team because of those 11. I've said in here, I'll say again, I don't care how anybody gets here, you know, whether they're the first pick in the draft, the last pick in the draft, free agent, rookie free agent, from another team free agent. I'm worried about guys showing that they want to be a part of this. I've been very clear on the fact that part of the process of being a good team, which we're not to that point by any means, but we're working like heck to try to be, is developing your first, second, third, fourth, and even fifth year players so that they can help you. Because again, I think all those guys can develop through those years. And I wouldn't even set a bar on that necessarily, because when you see a guy like Ron Edwards, that's a true veteran in the league and been around a little bit, and you see him making progress every day, then or say a Sean Smith, who is a little different stage than Ron, but you see these guys making progress and getting better. That's part of the development of players, and that must go on. And to me, that comes from good coaching. I don't think you can do it all with players, and you can't do it all with the best coaches in the world. You know, you need a combination of, and that's just the way I believe. And I feel real good about our coaching staff. Have felt real good about it, and I feel real good about our players and how they're going about their profession, which is in turn helping our team make progress.